All right, welcome back. So we are chowing through the crud. So create, read, update, delete. I always save update for last. So create and read are done. Let's do delete. Now the way we're going to do delete is going to be a little different. Um, we're going to swipe. So we're just going to kind of swipe to the side and then click delete. So just swipe to the side, click delete, and that's what's going to actually delete them. And you can see that it really is deleting these guys, right? So if I want to delete this one, I click delete there. And it didn't show the delete because I remembered for my example here, I'm pointing to a different database to keep them separate. But that's how delete works, is it's a swipe to delete. It's interesting that years ago, swipe to delete worked in tables, just people didn't know about it, right? And so you had to come up with some other way to show users how to delete. But these days, people swipe, people try swipe. So we're just going to make that the only way that you delete. So that's what we want to do. So we want to swipe on this cell and have that be the delete mechanism. I'm going to switch back over to iPhone because I kind of like the look of iPhone better. So if I swipe over on this, it's going to delete it. In order to do that, we're going to need another component. So the component that we're going to need is going to be in the list area. So if you go back up to your list, we're going to copy some code out. So maybe you want to follow along here. So in the list, we want a sliding list. So what does a sliding list do? Well, first off, it has this wrapper, this ion item sliding, and that goes around the ion item. In their example here, it's an ion item. In our code, it's a button, but it really doesn't matter. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to take our ion item, which is this button right here, and we're going to wrap it in an ion item sliding. It looks like I got an extra parenthesis on there. So ion item sliding. The next thing we're going to do is now we want this wrapper to be the thing that's repeated, right? So we want a bunch of these sliders. So I'm going to take my ng4 and I'm going to kind of pop it off of this one, and I'm going to put it up a row for that one. So make sure you can see the whole thing there. And so now this whole thing kind of gets repeated. In addition to the button, so the button is the visible part, we're also going to need an area for what shows up when you slide. So let's look at how to do that. And it looks like it's called Ion Item Options. And you can see in their example here, they've got a couple different things. Let's just go ahead and grab one of these. So this is Ion Item Options. It's got this slide left, which I'm just going to let the default prevail there. And then it's got a couple buttons. So they've got some left and some right stuff going on here, which is more complex than we need. But right here, I'm just going to pop in some ion item sliding. They've got two buttons, which of course auto-formatted horribly. So I'm going to go ahead and fix the auto-format. We only want one button, so I'm just going to take one of their two buttons and kill it. So they've got text and call. I'm just going to delete call. And now I'm going to start modifying this one, right? So slide left, that's actually the default. I'm just going to let the default prevail there. Color primary, I want it to show up in red. So I'm going to say danger. You could put on a custom color or whatever you wanted. You could put on a rose red or something like that. Ion name, so we want another ion item. So we want the delete icon, and it's just called trash. And then you could have a word below it or not. It's up to you. You could type the word delete, and you can see what that looks like. Or if you don't like it, you could just have no word, right? Let's see what it looks like with this. So if I swipe over, you can see it says delete there. If you preferred it without the word, so I'll just save it up again here. If you wanted it with no word, you can see it just be a little trash can icon there. Doesn't matter to me what you do. I think today I feel like putting on the word delete. Yesterday I felt differently, but it just doesn't matter. When they click this button, you want something to happen. So we want a click listener on here. And this click listener is going to remove the quote, and you're going to have to pass in something about the quote that you need to remove. Now it turns out you could pass in the whole movie quote, and that's fine, or you could pass in just the key. I don't care, right? So you could do either one you want. If you wanted to pass in just the key is the only thing you need. So you could say $key, and that would be just fine. Whichever way you want to do it is fine with me. Today I feel like passing in just the key. I don't know why. In my notes I did it differently. So over here I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna say remove quote, and it's gonna receive a quote to delete key, which is a string. If you chose to pass in the movie quote, that's fine. Just say movie quote there and then pop off the key on this side. Deletes are pretty easy, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right to the chase. I'm just going to say movie quote stream dot remove, and then we just want the key to delete. And again, if you passed in the movie quote, you'd have to say $key on this side. Cool. So if you click that button, it should delete that movie quote, which is great. So I've got my newest quote here. So now I will show these things side by side because it will actually work this time. And I slide over on this guy. It says delete there, and I click delete, and you can see he's gone, presto. If I wanted to do it again, I could just add something back. It gets added back to the top, swipe over, click delete, and he's gone. We're not going to implement undo or anything like that. We're just kind of showing you some fun things about Ionic. But like if you think about how hard this app would be to make as a website on your own, like we got totally for free nice prompts here, right? We got totally for free swipe, right? I mean, that's cool to get totally for free swipe. I mean, that's just kind of neat. And you get all these things for free when you're using Ionic, plus the ability to ship it as a native app. You can also see what it will look like on a Nexus. By the way, we've done this trick before, but it's been a while since I've done it. You can also type in / no, it's not Ion Lab. What is it? I had to go look it up there. Ionic-Lab. And when you do the Ionic-Lab, you just kind of want the full view here. But this lets you kind of see, hey, this is what it looks like in that's iOS over there, and then this is what it looks like in Android. And you can see that it looks pretty darn similar, right? Zoom out a little bit here so you can see the whole thing. And I just think that's neat that you can view it with Ionic Lab and you can see those two things. All right, so we've got delete working. Let's go ahead and get things checked in here. So we added the slider to the HTML, and then we added the delete function there. It's pretty easy. So that was just delete. Cool. Come back next time. I suppose it's probably time I tackled update. Update's going to require another detailed view and things like that, so a little bit more work. So we'll tackle that next time. All right, see you then. Bye.